Today we're going to be looking at this Wi-Fi 6 mesh system from TP-Link. So what is mesh Wi-Fi? Well, mesh Wi-Fi basically extends your wireless signal all the way around your home or your business. And it does this by basically having usually multiple what's called nodes around your building. So you usually have one plugged into your main router, what you get from your internet service provider, and then you usually get one or two or potentially more nodes, what you can plug in different places around your house. And what happens is they all work together. They sort of make like a family of little boxes, which spreads the wireless signal all the way around your house. You can walk from one side of the house to the other and still be connected. It also allows you to connect multiple different things up together as well. It can not only give you a good Wi-Fi signal around your house, it can also help with your speeds. It gets rid of all those nasty dead spots. On the front of the box, it tells you it's Wi-Fi 6. It's got the model number on there as well, and obviously it tells you it's from TP-Link. It tells you it works with all broadband providers. You can connect over 150 devices, it says. Tells you all about the 1,800 megabits per second speed with a coverage up to 5,800 feet square, and you can see the three nodes on the front to give you a rough idea what's on there. On the back of the box, it shows you a picture on there, which shows you how the Wi-Fi system works and all the different things you can connect up to it. Tells you all about the Wi-Fi dead zone killers, TP-Link's home care, which is parental control, antivirus and stuff like that, and seamless roaming with one Wi-Fi name. TP-Link, Greta is going to hate you. You've got a cardboard box, what came in another cardboard box, and inside that cardboard box, which has got a lot of foam inside, which you had these, you've also got this cardboard box, which then came with lots of plastic surrounding plugs and even a manual, which has got a plastic bag around it. Why? And then for some reason, you've got the actual nodes, which has got a piece of plastic ring around it, which is protecting absolutely nothing, probably apart from the word TP-Link on the back of it. I can't see why there is any need for that. Again, Greta is going to be very unhappy. Okay, so let's have a look at the nodes themselves. As you can see, it comes with a three. The top of the node comes with some sort of weird dish shape with a lip in it. I'm not sure exactly what that's for. At first, I thought it was a cover and it came out, but it doesn't. On the back, you can see it's got number 1 and 2. That's for your Ethernet ports. That's where you would plug in to your router, and then you could use the other port for something else, for example plugging into a TV or a PC or something along that lines. You've also got your power connection there. It does come with one Ethernet cable, which you would connect one of the nodes to your router with, which is 1.2 meters long, and each device comes with a power cable which is 1.4 1.5 meters long, to give you a rough idea. On the other side of the device, there isn't much to see. It's just got the Deco, however you want to pronounce it, information there. On the bottom, you can see ventilation ports, and you've got some information there as well. Right, okay, so we've got one of the nodes plugged in. We've got the Ethernet cable connected to our router. Bit of a stretch because it is a very short cable. It could have really done with a 2-meter or larger cable, but still, I suppose the supplied one is better than nothing. And then obviously the power cable is plugged in to a main socket to obviously power it. When you first turn it on, it does have a yellow light on the bottom, which you can see under there. You can see it shining on the desk, but just in case you wonder where the light is actually underneath. And that yellow light means it's starting up, and then it goes to this blue light, which means setup or time to set it up, basically. If you have got it working and everything's fine, green means it's good and connected and working, and if it's red, it means it's basically failed. What we want is for it to be on the blue. Then what we do is once it goes to blue is we download the app on our phone, so you can get that in your app store, Play Store, whatever, the Deco, whatever you want to call it, and it will let you obviously set it up. Now, I've already set up an account. You will have to set up an account. It's free to do if you haven't got one already, and you'll have to agree to any pop-ups that come on the screen saying it needs to allow access to it. And once you've done that, you'll get to here. Okay, so once you've got the app installed, you've obviously registered an account. It says let's begin. So you press let's begin. You can see it says or asks which your actual device is, which ours is the X20. So we'll click on that. It tells you what you need. Press next, press power off your modem, press next, plug in your devices, press next, and then obviously check your modem, and internet LED is on. And it says power on Deco and wait for the LED pulses blue, which is where we are at the moment. So we say yes, that's doing. And then hopefully now it's going to do a search and it should find it. And it's going connect to your Deco's Wi-Fi. So you've got auto connect or manually. So we'll try auto. Let's see how easy it actually is saying, do you want to join the network? So yeah, sure. We'll press join. So that's going through. So that's so far so good. But bear in mind, it can take a little while for some of these things to go through. Oh, that's done it pretty quick. So it's connected. So it's asking where have you got this device. So we'll pretend we've got this in the living room. And that's going through and checking. It's asking what connection type and so forth. If you're not sure, generally the best thing to do is just press next. But you have got options there to choose. And then it's basically going through and it's saying create a Wi-Fi network. Call your network. What network shall we call it? We'll call this TFT, so tech for text, 2022. And password, let's go nice and simple while we're doing the video. A, B, C, D, E, F. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, I suggest you choose something a little harder to guess than that. So then press next. It should hopefully set it up with the wireless. Fingers crossed anyway. So that's going through. Hopefully that's talking to each other. It says it's creating your Wi-Fi network, which is good. If you've not noticed, this light has stopped flashing blue. It's now staying just blue on its own, which hopefully is a good thing. Okay, so it's saying now you need to connect to your new Wi-Fi because you've created it. And bear in mind, this light's just gone green as well. So that means it should be set up. So we press connect. It says, do you want to join network TFT 2022 or whatever you want to call it? Press join. If you do struggle in this bit, you may have to go in your settings, Wi-Fi, and tell it to connect to the new device. And then it should go through and be set up and it says connected. That was it. That is pretty good and pretty quick. And it's saying it's online. And that was pretty painless, actually. That was one of the more simpler ones I've actually come across. So it is now set up. So it's now, press next, add more, obviously, the nodes or decos or whatever they call them. Okay, so to do that, obviously, we're going to need to plug in the other units. So we're going to pretend these are in different rooms. So we'll call that one bedroom and we'll call the other one, I don't know, kitchen or something like that. So you press got it. There we go. So it's showing your network there. It says there's an update available, which is pretty good. So you've got quite a few different options on there to go through. So you can see your home network. So if you click on that, it tells you what's connected to it and so forth. So you can see your uploads, downloads, and so go. It's inviting you to do exclusive features and different bits and bobs. But there you go. So it's pretty straightforward. I can't see any issues there. You've got an overview on there as well. So you've got home networks, you've got home care, which is their antivirus. You can turn on parental control, so you can tell it to turn off certain times of the days or turn specific devices off, which is pretty good. And then you've got even more. So you've got router settings, blacklist, updating, advanced, and so forth. WPS, obviously, which is for connecting devices easily, and so on. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to set up and go into the app and do lots of different things if needs be. And I don't think there's any issues. I plugged the second node in. It didn't ask us where it was. But as you can see now, the light is green on the bottom. It's automatically picked up the network. And I'm doing the same thing on the third one, and that should mean we're nice and strong signal and up and running. Bear in mind our internet signal here is pretty rubbish in the studio, but what we've actually got in our main store and our home is a lot faster. You're looking about 400 megabits per second, where here, unfortunately, it's a lot slower. So it's not the best place to test it, but I will do some test results in comparison to some Tender Novas or using just a standard router, just to give you a rough idea. As you can see, we're only getting around about 30, 35 megabits. Still, it's working and it was easy to set up. So you set one node up, it's done, plug the other ones in, and you're done. So down to testing first. The test setup basically is we've set up each individual router or mesh system individually and positioned each part in the same place, with the exception of the mesh ones, because there's obviously 2 extra nodes compared to a standard router. The other devices were turned off while we were testing them, so there was no interference between them all, and all tests were performed 15 minutes after the device was first turned on, just to make sure it was settled down, and then we run quite a few tests and got the average scores from each. Bear in mind, some of them did fluctuate up and down quite a bit, and that was including the Virgin router. But going to the Virgin router first, this is what you would get directly from Virgin Media, and this is the speed we were getting. Again, the internet signal is being transferred from one side of the house to the other via the Wi-Fi, and so it's basically diagonally. For example, your router's in the front or living room of the house next to your window at the front corner, and the internet's being sent to the bedroom at the far corner, the opposite side of the house. So it's as far as it'll go in a standard 3-bedroom house. So as we can see, the Virgin Media, the speed we're able to get was 138 megabits per second on the download and 35 on the upload, with a latency of 18, which wasn't the best, really, considering. When we hooked up the Mercusys router we've tested in the past, which is the AX1800, you can see the speed has pretty much doubled here. We've got 274 megabits per second on the download and 42 on the upload. As you can see, Virgin's standard router, or the one they provide you with, the latest one, doesn't really perform that well in comparison to third-party ones. Next, we did a test with another mesh system. It's the MW12 from Tender, so that's like their flagship mesh system. We're able to get 303 megabits per second on the download and 44 on the upload, so performing slightly better than the Mercusys router, which is good, and the latency was a little bit behind at 19. Now, we connected up the Deco X20 and did the same tests again, and as you can see here, we're getting 333 megabits per second on the download, 46, nearly 47 on the upload, and the latency was also the lowest as well, surprisingly, at 13, which was pretty good. So as you can see, well, basically the Deco nearly performs 3 times better than the built-in Virgin router, so you can't really complain there. Bear in mind, obviously, it's going to cost you a lot more to go out and buy a Deco X20 than a standard router and so forth. So you've basically got to figure out what you need. But if you want the fastest speeds available, the lowest latency, be able to connect up lots of devices at once, then I would suggest the Deco X20, or at least on our tests, performs better than the others on the market. Thank you for watching this video, everyone. It's really appreciated you made it all the way to the end. Please make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and even click that bell so you get notifications of new videos and live streams. It does help support the channel, and supporting the channel basically means that we can release more content for you, and also better quality content going forward. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.